Magic.
You say under coven?
No.
Welcome to Under Coven with Sam
and Katie, the spiritual podcast for regular people.
Cool people. Fun people.
Just not boring people.
We hope you love it.
I'm going to ask you a question, and you cannot answer with the word kind.
Whoa. Okay, like one
So
question
mean of
or
me.
multiple questions?
One question, and I want you to think of, they're going to be adjectives.
Okay.
Super light.
Okay.
How do you want to be remembered? Like what, and I want you to get like as nitty gritty specific as possible.
Like when I die?
Yes. I think kind is of course, right?
I care about that, yeah.
Yeah. But what would be cool adjectives that you'd want to hear?
I have to answer in only adjectives?
No.
I think I want people to feel and know how much I deeply loved them.
Aw.
And that I made them feel like they could truly be themselves in all the ways. Messy, like not have to show up in a certain way, that like they are welcome and like I'm here for them. There's like a safe space, but like just feeling so deeply loved. And I want to make that impact on as many people as I possibly can in the world.
Cool. That was deep, girl.
I tell you, it's always the heart for me. It's like to my own detriment because I love so hard. But it's who I am.
It feels right.
Yeah.
Feels very.
What's
I thought you were
yours?
going to say hottie or something. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
yeah. I want people to remember that I was really hot, especially when I'm 95 and I'm so hot. Yeah. No. I mean, it'd be cool if I was a hot 95-year-old, but.
Well, I was thinking about this in the context of, it wasn't a funeral, but it was
Okay.
someone describing someone and saying, oh, they're a really good listener. I'm like, damn, that's a great thing I want to be better at that. And that would be a cool way to be remembered.
Did I tell you that's what my name means?
No, oh, yeah.
I told you that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was little, there was like I don't know that my kids' names, because I like weird things now, I don't know that they have meanings, but all the original names used to have meanings. And there was like a thing on my wall that was like Samantha means a listener, I think in Arabic. And I don't know, I maybe still am, but life's so scattered. But I was a really good listener.
I think that is, I mean, and that's kind of what you're alluding to with like loving people. It's making them feel seen or heard.
Totally.
Giving them that space to be themselves. I think that's beautiful. The other weird thing that came up for me was being creative.
Oh, cool.
Which surprised me.
Were you meditating on this? Where did this come up?
Where did it come up? I was on a trip somewhere.
Oh. How do you want to be remembered? I want to think about that. I mean, that's obviously what came to mind, and I stick by my answer, but there's probably more to it than that.
Because I think if I'm remembered as creative, then I like lived my life very fully. Like I experimented and was curious. Curious is another one.
Yeah, curious is cool. But I think even those are two different questions to me, because how do I want to feel when at the end that I live my life fully, for sure. But do I want people to remember that I live my life fully? No, I don't care. I don't want to be remembered by living my life fully. It's fine if that's the answer, but that's not. I see those differently for me.
I don't think I necessarily mean literally like, you know.
No, a full life is full of love, full of laughter, full of all the things that you want.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
But that would not be my go-to answer. It wouldn't have come to my brain as like, how do I want to be remembered?
Yeah. And I think the question, I mean, I don't think I'm like super literal there. I think it's more like how, like the impact that you want to have.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
But there's, I don't know, that jump, I'm curious, keep thinking about it because I'm curious like what else.
I know, I want to keep thinking about it. And actually it's a good segue into our episode today.
Yes.
Because with all of these modalities that we're exploring, this one specifically to numbers and numerology, there's life path numbers, life destiny numbers, and I wonder if that ties back to any of the core way that we feel like we want that if it has anything to do with your life path.
Exactly. Well, I knew nothing about numerology.
I still kind of, I mean, after the episode, I learned a lot, but even I could never... It's a lot. It's like all these systems, right? Like Kaitlyn is an expert.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Incredible.
And I'm so excited to dive in more to, for people to learn about this modality and the different tools and ways that it's used because it's so cool.
It's so unique. And she put up with some total newbies around it, which is also
I know.
Props.
So, yeah, exactly. We're like, can you spell it?
Yes. Spell this number.
Exactly.
Spell the number. Yes. It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So, yay. This is so exciting. We have a really, really awesome guest. I feel like I say that every time, but I'm just like so excited every time. All the people
you
that
only
we've had
pick the
on here.
awesome guests.
Well, and then it's just it aligns, right? The right people with the right messaging want to come up. So today we have Kaitlyn Kaerhart, and she is fan-fucking-tastic. She's an intuitive numerologist and astrologer, author of the best-selling book, You Are Cosmic Code. She has Numerology 101 as courses, numerology reports. There's so much. You do so much.
So much.
I do a lot. And I'm a sometimes musician as well. I'm like,
oh yeah, it is like we saw that. I was like, credible. She do. So super excited to have you. Super excited to pick your brain. We don't know a whole lot about ourselves in this or this topic.
Yeah.
So you are just our guide and guru for the next hours.
I'm your Sherpa. I'm here.
You're our Sherpa. I love it. Well, I think what I love about the idea and the little that I know about numerology is like, I've always loved numbers, signs. I think people can kind of relate to that, right? But I think that there's maybe, if you could kind of break down how you would describe what numerology is and what it isn't too, because I think people, like I saw, or there was like an 11 on my grocery receipt. Is that, how do you even know what, like there's so many things, right? And the stereotypes around like, there was a 4, so that means I need to quit my job tomorrow. Like, there's so much. So I would love from you, maybe that's true, right? But
maybe you do need to quit your job.
Yeah, maybe you do.
But it wouldn't be a 4, it would be a 9. But yeah.
Oh.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So
same what?
How did like, I was just dropped on Earth yesterday. How would you describe like what numerology is?
Well, damn, if you were just dropped on Earth yesterday,
we're allowed to talk.
Where are you dropping from? Because you might not know. You might not even know what math is. And that's a little bit important to know what numbers are. But I would say, so numerology is an ancient esoteric system similar to astrology in that it tells us like who we are, what we're here to do. It informs us of our karma, the energy that surrounds us at any given time. But instead of using the planets and the cosmos to tell us who we are, numerology uses the power of numbers. And if you think about it, we live in a numeric system. Every single thing around us is vibrational. It's energy, which can be measured through math. So, math is the universal language. And that's kind of what numerology is. What I would say numerology is not is, this really bothers me. The only time I was ever like almost canceled was when I said this, but I'm just going to say it again.
We're here for it.
Yeah. So angel numbers. So when you're seeing repeating numbers, that is a message to you from the universe. And the most important way to interpret that is to know your own cosmic code. But there are a lot of people out there who just assign random meanings to quote unquote angel numbers like, 888. Change is coming. And it's like, actually, no, 8 is the number of money and power. 5 is the number of change, right? And numerology has existed for as long as numbers have existed. So it's really interesting to see that out there so often because it's giving people the wrong information. It's almost like being like, you're February 28th, you're actually a Virgo. And you'd be like, wait a minute, that's not
right.
what I am. And then it's like, well, I'm a channeler and it's your angel sign. You're a Virgo, right? So there's a lot of misinformation out there around the spiritual esoteric meaning of numbers. And so I just want to say that, a lot of people will Google like angel number 111 and they're getting the wrong information. And it really drives me nuts because I really see like numbers are a way that our guides communicate with us. And if we can interpret that in the right way, it accelerates you like that. I mean, I've seen it with myself. I've seen it with my students in Numerology 101, my clients. But when you're getting the wrong information, you're not you don't know the message that's coming to you, right? There's a weird filter. So numerology is not that woo-woo angel number, like your life's about to change because you saw 222, when that's not what 2 means.
That is so refreshing to me personally, I think, because I love a system. Like
I know, me too.
I love tarot cards because of the meanings, right? But being able to like tangibly.
Got my tarot cards right here.
Yeah. Oh, I know mine too.
Woo!
Yay. Love it. But yeah, there's something around like, okay, this is the meaning that you can kind of define. And I think that's really cool and powerful. So where did these definitions for all the different numbers come from then that you follow? Yeah.
Yeah. So I teach Pythagorean numerology. So
Cool.
that is what's considered to be like the standard, and I would say the most accurate system of numerology. And actually, it's funny. I was talking to my friend Robert Edward Grant years and years and years ago. He's a famous mathematician. And I remember I called him one night and I'm like, oh my God, the system, Pythagorean numerology. Da, 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 da. This is like, I think even before my book came out. And he was like, yes. And I found the equation that proves it's accurate and it's right. And I'm like, I know it is. Like, cause it was so freaky how accurate it is. And, you know, there's also like a more Vedic point of view, like a tantric one. There's also, you know, there's Chinese numerology. There's, Chaldean numerology, but the one that I again follow is Pythagorean numerology. Obviously, that's
cool.
associated with the mathematician Pythagoras, but numerology existed before him, and then he honed it.
Very cool. So how did you even get introduced to this world? Because it feels so like, specific and right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it always sounds like I'm making this up. So I just want to give a disclaimer because it is kind of weird. Many, many years ago, I had a dream. And in the dream, I kept hearing spiritual numbers. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, what the hell is a spiritual number? But it was one of those dreams that felt so real. Like I couldn't shake it. And so I go on Google and I'm like Googling like spiritual numbers. And by the way, this was like before any of this stuff was really trending on Instagram. Like I had no idea what numerology was. And on page like 14 of Google, I found a numerologist and had a reading with her, and it changed my life. And I just became obsessed. And she had actually come from this long line of Indian mystics who only did numerology. Like she would consult with her like grandpa who was over 100 years old, which is insane. I'm like, what? He's really over 100? She's like, yeah, he's 101. And she would consult with him before readings, and she just, I became obsessed with it. But it came to me in a dream. Like this was never something I pursued. This wasn't like a career option. The way I even landed in this was a complete like freak accident.
Can you share more about like what you learned about yourself in that reading, or what sort of started this? I'm just so curious.
So when I went to this woman and had my numerology decoded, I wasn't into any of this stuff. Like I am a Virgo sun. I'm very practical actually. And I remember just thinking like even astrology is bullshit. Like who even cares, right? Like we're all just looking for answers. Like I was so cynical. And I remember sitting down with her, and there was no way at the time she could have even like Googled me. There was no information that she could have accessed other than just my birthday and my name. And I've never felt so seen in my life. Like I just didn't understand how she knew all of these nuanced details about me that like I hadn't even told to anyone else. She knew things about like my siblings and like different colors that worked for me and didn't work for me, and like events that had happened in my life and where I was at in my current life. And it just explained so many things to me that I had always been really, really confused about, where I was like, how come every situation I'm in, XYZ happens, no matter what, like, what am I doing, you know? And then all of that really informed me of, oh, okay, I understand like basically who I am at a vibrational level and why I'm pulling in the experiences that I'm pulling in, and also how to align with my energy to make things flow in my life, as opposed to, you know, constantly hitting these roadblocks. And yeah, I mean, so much came from that reading. And then obviously like I became obsessed, and accidentally built a career on it. Well, accidentally at first
incredible.
and then intentionally.
That's amazing. That's great. So okay, so you're going down this path. So we've got these numbers, the system that you're using, right? How would you describe, okay, so it's like your life path numbers, there's different things that you look at, right? Can you kind of just give us an overview of what you're looking at with these?
Yeah. So numerology is really infinite in the numbers that you can get from your birthday and your name. I think there are your core numbers that are the most important to know. Like if you go on Google and you're like, what's my numerology? You're probably going to come upon a calculator that asks for your full birthday. And by the way, a lot of these are wrong. So I'm always like, hey guys, like please check my Instagram. You can look for free and figure out what your number is. But you have your life path, which is based on your birthday. You have your life destiny, which is also sometimes called an expression number that is based on your full birth name. And then we have, your personal year cycle. We have your heart's desire number. We have your personality number. We have karmic lesson numbers, karmic debts. Again, there's so much you can get from numerology. Even like the first letter of your name, which is like a founding letter, has like a impact on who you are, right? So it's infinite, but I'd say if you're like, oh my God, like there's so many numbers, how do I figure this out? Like, what do I really need to know? Your life path, your life destiny, and your personal year cycle will be enough to change your life. And those are the 3 numbers I used when I went from being literally broke and homeless to this best-selling Penguin Random House author. I just followed those 3 numbers. So if anything, look up those numbers, and I promise you, if you just play with them, just try it on, it has the ability to really transform you.
That's bananas. Yes, it really is.
So you're pulling your life path is from your birthday, you said.
Yeah.
Where do you get the other 2?
So your life path is based on your birthday, and then your life destiny, which is sometimes called an expression number, is based on your full legal birth name. Not married, has to be the name that's on your birth certificate, and then your personal
Middle included.
Yes,
all the
middle
things.
included, and then your personal year cycle is just based on your birthday, and that's why when I got your guys' birthdays, I was like, "Oh, girl." Katie, you made it. Like this year's so much better than last year. Thank God. And you're like, wait, what?
But I'm like, do you want that?
That's going on crazy. And then wait, also one that stuck out to me that I want to know more about is your karmic debt. Tell me more about that one.
Okay, so karmic debt numbers. It's interesting because this is such a hot topic in numerology, and I don't talk about it too much because karmic debt, there's no calculation for karmic debt. So basically, to know you have a karmic debt number, you have to decode yourself. And if you come across a 13, 14, 16, or 19, that means you have a karmic debt number in your chart. And actually, if you get my numerology report, like if you see those numbers in your chart, that means you have a karmic debt number. And most people have 1 karmic debt number, sometimes 2. I very, very rarely have seen 3 or 4. Though I will say the only people I know who have all 4 numbers are Jim Morrison and Hugh Hefner.
Wow.
Yeah. They had all 4 karmic debt numbers. But yeah, it basically means that in a previous incarnation, there was some sort of abuse, and the abuse that was had is told to you through the number. So let's say you have karmic debt 16, that's an abuse in love. So in a past life, you abused love in some way. Like maybe you had like a secret family, or you were just like a philanderer. Maybe you just cheated on people. You weren't very kind. And in this lifetime, you have to balance out that karma. Again, most people have it. It's very rare to not have any karmic debt number. And if you have no karmic debt number, then it is believed that you chose to come here. And also there's a reckoning with that too. Like I don't have a karmic debt number. And I remember when I found that, I was like, what? Why am I here? Like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Because you're perfect.
Well, I am a Virgo, and everybody knows Virgos are perfect.
Does that mean this is so fascinating. Do you think you'll create a debt then in this lifetime?
God, I hope not. I really hope not. I mean, I have karmic lessons like everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who don't have any karmic lessons, and that's pretty wild. Actually,
Are those like fully completed souls then? Will they
no,
not?
But you know what's so crazy? This is so many years ago, but I remember one night I was like in my flat, and I just was like, You know when someone becomes a guru and their whole name changes? It's like an initiation. Who's the person that wrote Steve Jobs' favorite book? It's like Yoga Nandi. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yogananda. Yeah.
I forget. Okay, it's a famous book. I'm like really blanking. It's eclipse season, y'all. Okay, but anyways, I'll find the book. But I remember I was like, what happens when these gurus change their name? And it was so insane. I decoded like 3 or 4. Every single one of them had like just normal numbers, and then when they ascended to being guru status, every number in their chart became a 9 or a 0. It was so wild. I was like,
that is wild. And
how
that's
is this
based on
possible?
That's based on the names they changed their names to?
Yeah.
The chosen ones.
Wow.
Interesting.
Fascinating. It's so fascinating. Okay. So are you, beyond like finding out this core information, are you using numerology day to day? Like, are you using it when you move into a house, or are you choosing things based on numerology? Okay. How? Tell us everything. Tell us what to do.
There is address numerology, but you can always change the numbers. So like, I try not to like have people freak out about that. The thing that I use numerology most religiously for are the personal year cycles. And I'm fluent in astrology, human design, the galactic Maya, and the 52 card deck, as well as numerology.
Few things.
Yeah, my brain just works better with like systems and patterns, so I absorb it pretty quickly. But I've studied like every single system, and the most accurate, hands down, like never fails tool from numerology is the personal year cycle, and it beats tracking the transits in astrology. It beats everything. So that's the one thing I like religiously live my life by, and I'm not like so strict about it. It's just a knowing, right? So like this year, I'm in my partnership year. I'm in my partnership month in September. So I'm like, okay, how can I align with the right collaborators? Like, I know this is a month for me to collaborate. So I've been working on this new system that I'm calling money codes, which is like numerology through the lens of money. It's a whole thing. And I was doing it one-on-one with people. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to be in my month 2, year 2. That's about collaboration. So I'm going to make this a group coaching experience. And it's the first time I've done something like that in this way. So again, it's just like, I'm not holding it so tightly, but I'm like, let me redirect the energy in this way, if that makes sense.
I'm wondering, like, I know there's a lot of numbers, but like two you said is kind of partnerships. Is there like the briefest way to like break down each one by like,
oh yeah, of course.
Theme? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Okay, I'm going to break it down as simplistically as possible. 1, new beginnings in the self. 2, partnership and collaboration. 3, communication and self-expression. 4, foundations. 5, change and your relationship to freedom. 6, the love or the marriage or divorce year. It's the love year.
Ooh.
7, spiritual awakenings. 8, money and power. 9, endings and completion. And by the way, that's what you were in last year, Katie. That's why it's the hardest year. And that's why I was like, girl, you made it through the 9. This is your year 1 right now. So you're in a total like rebirth moment.
Yes.
But last year is usually the heaviest year because again, 9 is all about endings and completion. There's so much letting go. A lot happens in a year 9. We're actually universally in a year 9 right now in 2025. But 2026 is going to be the year 1 for the collective. Woo woo.
That's great. That's so helpful to just break down, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
So it ends at 9, but I've also seen on your page specific to life paths, but there's like 11, 22, 33. So when does it then go beyond the 9?
Just in general?
Yeah, if you broke all of those down, but then I feel like I've seen more than that. Because even you said I was a 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're a 10 of clubs. I was looking at your destiny card. That's not your life path.
Okay, got it.
So numerology deals with single digits 1 through 9, and that's because that's the purest form of the energy. So a lot of the calculations you'll do, you just keep reducing and adding until you get to a single digit. The only time there's an exception is when you're dealing with what's called master numbers. So master numbers are 11, 22, and 33, and these are just like a higher vibrational number. They're they're really master teachers, right? So it's pretty rare to have 11, 22, or 33 in your chart, but there are life path 11s, life destiny 11. So yeah, it does show up.
Got it. Okay. So the single digits are where you deduce it down to, which I did when we were first chatting. I had looked up with all of your life path numbers, and I had calculated mine, which I think was a 4.
It's a 4, yeah.
Yeah. And then Katie's a 9. But my
Ooh.
husband's a 9. My kids are a 9. Both of them, because they're twins. So obviously they're the same
Yeah.
birthday. There's like so many 9s.
My husband,
Her son and her husband. Okay. So A, what does that mean? But B, why am I surrounded by so many 9s?
So it's really interesting because there are a lot of ways to answer that. But typically when I see something like this happen, it's because of something in your chart. So you may be a life path 4, but you may actually have a lot of 9s in your chart in other places, which means that even though your life path is to build something, which is the 4, it's the builder, you vibrationally also resonate a lot with 9s. It's kind of like I remember I was shopping for my friend for her birthday, and she's a Gemini, and I was like, nothing about this woman feels Gemini. I was like, give me your chart. She literally had 7 planets in Capricorn. So it's like, can we really say she's a Gemini? You know what I mean? It's like, she is, but she also has a lot of Capricorn energy. And so it's the same, right? When you look at your numerological code, some numbers are going to be heavy. You might be missing some numbers entirely. Like my whole cosmic code are just a series of 1s and 11s. And I was born at 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, that's kind of like what made me even think there was something to this. And I was born at 10:10 p.m., which is 1010. I was born on the 11th. My initials are KK. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. Like, my entire code is just that. And so I remember that the first reading I had with that woman, she was like, you can't be successful if you're using a 1 name because it's too heavy in your chart. You need to use a 3 name. And it's interesting because when Penguin Random House found me and offered me a book deal, they're like, do you want to just go by Kaerhart, which is my last name, which is, of course, a 1 on its own. And I was like, you know what? Like, who am I, Madonna? No, like, I'm going to go by my full name for my book. And so it came out as Kaitlyn Kaerhart, and it just blew up. And so it's so crazy. I used the 3 name, which is my Kaitlyn Kaerhart, not my middle name. And it worked. So again, it's like, we don't know everything that's going on in your numerical code right now, but
no,
wow.
It's just so, I just want to take a second to appreciate how you're breaking this down so easy to digest.
Yeah.
Right. I think sometimes you get lost in like the, ethereal part of spirituality or these tools. And this is just so practical, and like implementing it into your life is just, I just want to flip a second.
I love the magic. I'm like, you're all 11s. You must be an angel. You are. Like, I am like, give me the mysticism.
And I'm like grounded back down. Yes.
But no, thank you for saying that, because honestly, I had such a hard time stepping out. Like, I was such a closeted numerologist for the longest time because there's a lot of very like impractical, like over the top woo-woo stuff online where it's like, oh my God, like you'll see the same astrologer like every time there's a transit, this is going to be the one that changes your life. This moon is going to change. And it exhausts me. And I never ever want to come across that way, because I really do believe that these are just tools for us to reflect, to know ourselves better, to empower ourselves. And the moment that they're not empowering us, like, let them go. Like, you don't need them, but they are so helpful, right? Like, I mean, I don't even know how some people don't have this knowledge. Like, how are you getting by without some of these spiritual tools and practices? But it should be practical. And I think it is practical, honestly.
It is. Well, I'm just thinking about like new moon, drink this water, and or you will miss out on like your success. Like there's fear. There's so much fear, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of that like urgency and like
Yeah, I always, because we both have 2 children and I'm always missing the transit of whatever. And I'm like, whoops, guess I'm not manifesting this year because I didn't do the practice of the burning the paper and all the things.
You guys will love the year cycles then because it's like a full month for the energy to unfold. So you can be like,
plenty of time.
Oh shit, it's the second week of the month. Oh, I still got 2 weeks. Okay, here we go, you know?
Oh, and just to break that down, so the year cycle, do you go month by month there, or is it a theme for the entire year? Like,
So
how does that work?
There's the year cycle, and then there are month cycles that run alongside the year cycle.
Cool. Okay.
What are we in right now? I know this might not come out
Well,
exactly at the time, but it doesn't matter. What are we in right now?
We're in a universal year 9, month 9. And that's because September's the peak of the year for every single year cycle. That's because 9 added to any single digit number and then reduced down to a single digit number is that number. So like I'm in a year 2, right?
Oh,
so it's like
interesting.
2 plus 9 reduced down to a single digit is going to be 2. So so
got
like
it.
everyone's at the peak of their year in September. So universally, it's a universal year 9, month 9. For me, it's a personal, year 2, month 2. Katie, you're in a year 1, month 1. And then I think you're in a year 3, Sam. February. Yeah, you're February 28th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in a year 3.
Okay. What does that mean?
That's communication, self-expression. I mean, it actually makes sense. You launched a podcast in a 3 because it is the communication number and the social number. And then next year is going to be your 4, which is about building strong foundations. And then Katie, you're going to be in your partnership year next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
We are partners. This is everything we need.
Yeah, or I love partners. Yeah. Kaitlyn, I'm so curious how much so I said all of the system stuff and I stand by that, but how much of your intuition and your own personal, gut, whatever you want to call it, do you also kind of infuse into this? Because I'm sure that you're getting, some sort of sense of energy or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, I think that's why I call myself an intuitive numerologist. I feel like when you're working with tools like this, it almost opens the floodgates, and all of a sudden I find myself saying things to people where I'm like, I can't believe I just said that, but okay. And clients come back to me all the time. They're like, oh my God, do you remember 2 years ago when you said this to me? Because it happened. And I'm like, I don't remember, but I'm so glad that it happened. And yeah, you know what I mean? So I think, and I've heard this from a lot of clients of mine and students in Numerology 101, they're like, once you start working with the codes, once you start working with the numbers, it's very much like a neo wake up moment. You really start to you see the world differently. And I remember when I first was working with numbers, I was like, am I going crazy? I'm just, it's I can't explain it, but
it feels like a beautiful mind in that scene where he's writing all the stuff on the walls. That's what I'm picturing.
It's such an awakening moment. And it's interesting because other people have told me the same thing. They're like, I started working with numerology and taking it more seriously. And now my intuition is so on point, the way that I see things. And really what numerology does, one of the greatest things that it offers you just on a very practical level is pattern recognition. You're able to understand and see patterns so easily when you're working consistently with numbers in this way. And you'd be surprised. You'd be very, very surprised how cyclical you are. I remember when I first got into personal year cycles, I decoded every single year. I went ham. And I've done this for so many people. I even did it for I was I'm really curious about when J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter. So I decoded J.K. Rowling.
Cool.
It was really fun. But yeah, when I started to decode myself through the personal year cycles, I was like, oh my God. Every single year 4, this happened. Every single year 5, the same thing happened. Every single year 6, the same thing happened. And then when you understand that we're so cyclical, you can be like, okay, wait, do I actually want to choose that? Or do I want to choose differently? And it was so bizarre because we think we're going through life and every day I'm different. Every day I'm choosing something new, which means my patterns are being broken, but not always. They're so in there that you don't always realize the patterns that you're engaging in. And so when you can look at them in that way, you can kind of step back and be like, okay, I know that this year cycle, this month cycle is coming up. Do I really want the same thing to happen? And that's, for an example of that would be when you go into your money year. Like my last money year, I quadrupled my income. But the money year before that, which was 9 years, I was broke. I was a musician. I had been dropped from my label. I was really struggling with some of the shadowy parts of the 8, which is like relationship to power. And I had a lot of weird things happen in the music industry, as you can imagine. And so when I knew my money year was coming up, I was like, I'm buckling down. And so halfway through my year 7, which is my spiritual awakenings year, I was like, I'm going to be singular focused. I'm going to build my business. I'm going to build an online business. That's all I did. And then I launched in my year 8, which is the money year, and boom, like everything went off. And again, it's just like having the awareness really is what helps us, I think.
That's wild. And so like intentional, right? You're like, okay, I know this now, so I'm going to put forth this energy here and then choose to do this here. And then it takes off. I think that is so cool, and learning the foundations.
Yeah.
So with the money specific, because I know you mentioned the money course too, what sort of things are you teaching in that? You're using numerology for money or finances.
So I kind of looked around. So I went through some serious health issues the last few years. And for the first time in my life, I had medical debt. And I was like, whoa. And like the healthcare system in America, you guys, if I was to tell you how much money I spent on my health, like in the past few years, you would be like, fall out of your chairs. It's actually shocking. Anyways, that's a whole other conversation. But I was like, okay, I need to use numerology in a way that like really is only focused on money. And I took a lot of like money courses, and I read a lot of finance books, and I started to realize like, I feel like there are 2 categories. There's like the woo-woo category of like, you can manifest anything. Okay, everyone, let's get together, kumbaya, hold hands, and like, just, it's like The Secret. Just envision the money in your account and it's there. And that doesn't work for me. And then there's also the practical.
Wish it did, right?
Yeah. Right? There has to be more. There has to be aligned action. But then there's also the other part where it's like the very practical, the very nervous system based approach, which I think is essential. But if you're only doing practical, you're only doing nervous system approach, and you don't actually know your cosmic code, which by the way is as unique as a thumbprint. Every single one of us has a completely different set of codes. And I've done thousands of charts at this point with my Numerology 101, my numerology reports, my clients. No 2 people have the exact same coding, which means we're all uniquely designed, which also means we're all uniquely designed to make money in our own way. So even if you're a multimillionaire, like you could be leaving money on the table if you're not also looking at like, how are you designed to receive? How are you designed to circulate money? And part of that, when I really broke it down, comes down to your karmic lessons, which are your kind of like abundance blockers, your karmic debts, your life path, and your life destiny. And of course, the personal year cycles for timing. So I created this system where we're looking at nervous system, we're looking at the practical stuff because you absolutely need it. You cannot throw it away. But you also need to know, who are you? Like uniquely, who are you and how are you designed to build your wealth? And so I put this together, and I started taking people through it. I took friends through it. I took clients through it. And every single one of them was like, holy shit. Like they had such a profound breakthrough. And I thought, okay, I need to take this to more people. And also, I just want to say, like, it didn't matter how much people were making. Like some of my friends I took through it have been struggling financially. And then one of my friends I took through it is a multi-millionaire, like very successful. And I remember when I took her through it, I was like, I really wonder like what this is going to be like. And she called me a few days later. She's like, oh my God, everything was so on point. And I'm realizing I'm not putting myself out there enough. I've had all these fears around being seen. And she has a 19 karmic debt, which is a lot of that is around being seen. So again, it changed so many people's lives. I was like, I got to bring this out there. So I'm doing it as a group coaching at the moment. So it's not like totally available to the public, but my goal
I was going to ask how to
find it. I know. Well, okay. So right now it's like an intimate group setting, but my goal is to launch it into either a course or another group setting, because I've only done it one-on-one. But then I thought, you know what? there's real power in people sitting together and hearing other people's experiences and being like, oh my God, it's not just me.
Yeah.
And I think, bringing a group together to support one another. I mean, I don't know when this episode comes out because like the registration is closing next week, but
Oh, damn. Well, how do we find it?
I know,
There's a thing for a friend.
I mean, I would love to have you girls in. We can chat about that when we get off this call. But
Perfect.
yeah, I mean, I think this is honestly my best work, and I'm so excited. I was going to launch it just as a course, and then I thought, no, I really want to refine it and take people through it and just see like, what do I not know? I already know it works one-on-one, but like, how do I make it even more powerful? So I am so thrilled, honestly, and yeah,
It
it's
sounds
exciting,
really profound and unique, and I'm kind of shocked that it doesn't exist because it's the way you explained it. It was like, well, yeah, we should all be following this and doing this, and so there's so much numerology out there. I would think. You have to write a second book. Clearly, that's what we're learning.
I know. Well, it's crazy. So the way it came to me, I was sick and I was in bed and I was really sick. I had a really nasty cold, not like the real sickness I had for 2 years, basically. But I was lying there, and on the seventh day, I woke up and was like,
she rose again.
yeah, I was like, oh my God, I have this idea. And I literally got my laptop. I was so sick. I put my laptop on my chest and I just started speaking out like the numerology. I was like, okay, we're only looking at all these numbers through the lens of money, because obviously there's a generic understanding and explanation of like, what's a life path for? You're a builder, like you can be rigid in your shadow, but you're really good at like building systems for people, right? But I was like, no. I just want to know about the four through money. And I started like thinking back to all my clients. So I was speaking out all of this, not knowing what it was going to be. And it ended up being 92 pages when I was sick. And I was like, oh my God, there's something here. And then again, it's just like years and years of decoding people. I was like, let's talk only money. And then I was like, am I nuts? Like, what is, and then I took other people through it and they're like, what the fuck? So I mean, I could talk about this forever because I'm so excited to bring it to the world. But yeah.
That's really
sounds amazing. I also loved how you described that everyone's is completely unique, because I know I mentioned this. I have twins, and we've had a handful of readers on here in different, like a lot of the modalities you referenced, like the astrology or human design or all these different things. And of course, they're born 5 minutes apart, so their charts are identical for everything else. And I'm like, but they're very different people. And so people are like digging in the charts to find the differences or the different expressions of it. But numerology specifically, you're like, no, it doesn't matter that they're twins. It's going to be completely unique, and they're completely unique. So I actually think that's really cool.
Well, it's actually really interesting because my ex-boyfriend, his brothers were twins, and it was kind of like the same thing. And I decoded them, and it's like one had so much karmic debt, so much going on, and then the other one didn't have any karmic debt, and like their life path was the same, but every other number was different for the most part. Obviously not like their personal year cycle, but it was really interesting, and I think numerology does inform us of that. Like, also, I do want to say, like, the rising sign does change every 4 minutes, so the degree. So that also really tells you about someone's chart. But twins tend to be very similar with their astrological charts. But yeah, the numerology will definitely tell you the difference. I mean, I've had a lot of people, I've done a lot of readings for people who then want me to do readings for their children. And also a lot of people will buy charts for their kids. And I've noticed something really interesting when I've decoded entire families, where a lot of the time the entire family will have the same karmic debt number. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys totally incarnated together to work out this 14 karmic debt. It's really cool when you can break down an entire family and kind of understand, like, what is it that we're here to do as a group on a soul level. And of course, there are so many layers to that, but numerology does help us understand some of those layers.
Karmic debt, though, I feel like that freaks me out of like, what did I do?
No, okay.
Like, do I want to know? Do I want to know? Yeah.
Okay, here's what I always tell people. I'm like, look, our souls are infinite. Let's say we've lived 1,000 lifetimes. You really think there wasn't one lifetime where you're like, you know what? fuck this. I'm going to do what I want to do. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. Like, I just want to do me. Like, of course,
I'll
everyone's
kill someone. It's fine. Yeah.
and almost
Oh, God.
everyone's had that experience. And honestly, like, almost every single person has a karmic debt number. Most. It's very rare to not. And it's really interesting because people sometimes get freaked out. And I'm like, there's really nothing to be freaked out about. It explains our karma, which why wouldn't you want to know that? So you can work through it and not accrue it. But I know that like one of my girlfriends came to me and she kept attracting like people who had serious drug problems. And she was like, this is so weird. Like she was totally sober, never ever did a drug in her life. Like she's like, why is it like my dad was an alcoholic growing up? Like both of her serious girlfriends both had a drug problem. She's like, something's wrong with me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing to attract this. And I broke down her chart and she has a 14 karmic debt attached to her life path number, which is really prominent. And 14 means in a previous incarnation, she abused freedom. An abuse of freedom is someone who maybe has an addiction issue, right? And when I told her that, she literally started crying. She's like, oh my God, like this actually makes me feel so much better. Because she's like, it doesn't make it feel like it's me. It makes it feel like, oh, I'm actually meant to help these people. Because before in a past life, I was that person. And it gave her more compassion. And then she, actually over time, she's stopped attracting that once she had the awareness. And so again, it always comes back to us just having the knowledge. And once we have the tools and the awareness, then we can actually shift how we're experiencing our reality.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Exactly.
So I know you've referenced your numerology reports. Is that someone can go on your website and is it a report about them or is it a report about the year that's going on? What is it that they're able to access?
Yeah. So you can go on my website and you can I have a couple different numerology reports and basically you just put in your name and all the math is done for you.
So cool.
The personality profile is like 30 pages of like all your numbers. So it's a lot, but it breaks it down. I think part of the reason why numerology isn't as maybe popular as astrology is because you do have to do a little bit of math. And I really don't want that to be the like barrier of why people don't know their codes. I will say the math is very elementary. It's nothing complicated, but math sometimes is triggering for people. So my reports are easy because it's like, look, you don't have to worry about getting the math right. You could just put in your info and we'll do it for you and send it to you. And as far as the personal year cycles, I don't have reports on that, but I do have planners that I made that break down every single month and then have
cool.
like different
amazing.
journal reflections. And yeah, there's a lot in my personal year cycle planners.
Man, you offer so much.
I know. It's wild.
I know.
I
love
do a
it.
lot. I'm a manifester in human design. It's a lot.
Oh,
There's a lot
amazing.
going on over here.
Yeah, apparently so are my kids. I just figured out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, I'm a generator, so I'm like, this is different.
Different energy, two of them.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine raising a manifestor child.
Okay, great. Can't wait. They're very little, so we have a lot of life left to learn
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Wow.
Well, we would love to ask you if you're cool with it, like a couple rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
Kind of spice it up a little bit.
Let's
Yeah,
spice
just
it up.
first-
Let's do
yeah.
it.
First things that come to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. Because now I've learned that you're trained in everything. So I'm asking your two most prominent ones, but if there's a different one, feel free to answer.
Okay.
If you had to use only one tool, numerology or astrology, to guide all your future decisions and like know about yourself, which one are you using?
Numerology.
Sounds like it. I could
Hands
have predicted
down.
that answer.
Also, okay, the thing about like one of the big differences between astrology and numerology is that astrology, like you can interpret certain things a million different ways. Numerology is very simple and straightforward. And it's like, here's the number, here's the light, here's the shadow. Where like you can go to 10 different people and they might give you a different explanation for what Saturn in your 8th house means. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
also like you don't always feel the transits. And sometimes in astrology charts, you'll have like the best thing happening and the worst thing happening at the same time. You're like, oh, okay, well, which one is it? Like sometimes clients are like, well, what the fuck? But with numerology, it's very much like, here it is. You're either going to choose to go the path of like least resistance and like the positive side of this, or you can go the negative side. And when you know, like, oh, like let's say you're in an 8 and you're dipping into unhealthy power dynamics, it's like, oh, well, okay, let me get out of this dynamic and let me shift towards money and abundance, which is the light side of the 8. And it's an easier system. And also, again, we live in a numeric system. Everything in our world can be measured through math and frequency. So why would we not be using the universal language of numerology? Like, we only have 2 universal languages, right? It's music and numbers. Why would we not use that?
Yeah, all my favorite things.
Well,
Same.
and it's like less room for interpretation in a good way, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But-
Wait, before go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, but it is infinite. It's not that like astrology offers more. It doesn't. It's just different. Like if I was only going to live my life by one system, it would be numerology. Also, I just don't even know, like I said, the personal year cycles are just too accurate. Like I can't not flow with those because it's incredible. It's incredible when you work with them.
I'm so excited to really dive into it. And I meant to ask you this before, so I'm breaking from our rapid fire. But because I said my 2 favorite things and I do love numbers, my lucky number, my whole life has been a 4. After finding you, it's the first time that I found out that my life path number was a 4. But I want to ask you about it because I read about it and I was like, well, this is boring. I don't want to be a 4.
I mean, Oprah's a 4.
Okay.
Shonda Rhimes is a 4. Quentin Tarantino's a 4.
Good company.
I mean, I think 4s do get kind of reputation for being squares, but like I'm a 1, right? So I'm really good at like coming up with the ideas, and like I'm like, fuck the rules, like whatever. I'm like, wah, you know what I mean? And the 4 is like, let's be stable. Let's build. Let's rein it in. Rules are meant to be followed, which is such a hard edge for me because I'm like, oh, no. But like, how could you bring like some of the creations and ideas that like a 1 would download into the world without the structure of a 4? Like my roommate is a 4, and it's like so nice because she brings structure and groundedness to some of my flighty 1 energy. You know what I mean? Like, we need 4s. And also that really goes with you being a generator, because generators are kind of like the worker bees and they build, and it's like we need that practicalness. Like you being partnered with Katie
You get shit done.
Yeah, it's perfect because you're able to like actually build, where like Katie
this
is like,
I had the same thought when you said 1s. I was like, well, yeah, that's your manifester energy.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, that's another thing I want to make a point of, is that all these systems are really saying the same thing. Like I've never decoded someone from the top down and been like, oh, this doesn't add up. They all say the same thing, but in a totally different way.
Right. So it's what works easily for you to digest, which to me, numerology sounds like the most practical one in all the ways that you're breaking it down.
Is it okay? So 9 is, I thought 9 was like completion, right? Is there another way it's interpreted with like life path?
9 is the humanitarian.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not an easy life path. Gandhi was a 9. Mother Teresa was
Cool.
a 9.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But Jim
pressure.
Jim Carrey and Priyanka Chopra are both 9s as well. So like, it's not
that's very
all
cool.
just like, you know, you don't have to go live in rags and like devote your life to something, but you are meant to make the world a kinder, more gentle place.
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
And
I'll take
devote
that. That's
yourself
awesome.
to something that is near and dear to your heart.
Cool.
Yeah, that lands for my husband. It'll be interesting to see both my kids and how they express it. But there's also so much else to find out.
I know. Now I'm like, I want to.
Yeah, there's so much more.
Can you tell me what like either the weirdest question you've gotten about numerology, or like the wildest thing? I'm also curious, like the wildest thing that's happened in your DMs, like they're famous people
Oh
there,
my
or like
God.
what's going on?
Yes, I don't know why. I'm like, I don't care, but that's got to be something in our charts.
Well, so I do read for a lot of famous people, and I have read for a lot of famous people. So having famous people in my DMs is not weird to me. And I grew up in LA, right? And I also was like primarily in the music industry for a long time. So like celebrities are like, they're just normal people, you know? I think the weirdest thing, I mean, it's like such a dumb answer, but like as a woman, like I get a lot of creepy dudes sometimes. Like I'll literally like, I posted like a photo of me or a video of me with my nephew. And I was just like at the park and like, I'll get like a creepy DM like, oh, wow, your tits look amazing. I'm like, what? Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm like, bro, like, what? I'm just trying to share I'm like trying to share the joy of being with my nephew. My nephew's like my whole world. I love him so much. And I'm like having fun with this cute kid at the park. And I'm like,
I can't.
what?
God, I
Like,
cannot.
so I feel
So
like I get
gross.
a lot of weird, like creepy dude messages.
Yeah.
Which is, and
That's
I know
fair.
I barely put myself out there like that. Like most of my Instagram is literally just me talking about numerology. Like,
Right. People will find ways to be like, oh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, but now I'm
Oh,
thinking
man.
like, should I like manifest something? Like, cause now I'm like,
Yeah.
should I, I did Casey Musgraves, liked
yeah.
some of my posts and I'm rarely like, I don't really fangirl, but I'm like, oh my God,
Oh.
Casey Musgraves.
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm like, yeah.
Make an exception. Yeah.
Maybe I
right,
should
yeah.
manifest that. Maybe I should be like,
Yeah.
I want so and so to slide into my. You know, I want to slide into my
Yeah.
DMs. Portia, please come. I would love to do some sort of collaboration, some sort of like you sponsor me kind of thing.
We're manifesting that she hears this and does the same for the show. So
There we go. Yeah.
we're in.
That's amazing.
Come through, Portia. Let's go.
Yeah. Comes through.
What is your favorite and least favorite number?
Oh God, I don't. I'm always very, very careful to say this to actually because. I also have clients that like,
Right.
and I
I was
really
thinking that.
don't want them to hear and be like, so you don't like me? And people do that. I would say my favorite number.
Yeah, you don't have to answer least favorite. Just give us favorite.
Okay, well, it's hard though, right? Because it's like, what's the context? Is it like my favorite life path number to like be friends with? Or is
Sure.
it like my favorite number, like I'm in the year cycle, or just like my favorite number in general? I think
It's so funny because without this context, like people would never think about it this way. It's like, well, this is my lucky number. My husband loves 11, which is not surprising. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I love 4. And, but you're right. There's so much context. We have the knowledge that you have.
I think, when I first started out, I used to have like very, very extreme opinions on these things. Now I feel like I truly, truly look at each number in there's so much for me to learn and to embrace. And there's also like the shadow, which I don't love. Like the shadow of 4 is really, really tough to deal with for me. Cause I'm like, please stop being so rigid and like stubborn. Just stop, But then the light side of it is something I really need. Like I need to learn more about like bringing my crazy ideas to structure, right? So it's hard for me to pick a favorite. It's hard. There
It's
has
okay.
to be
That's
more
fine.
content.
That's fine.
Ask me
That's so fair.
other spicy questions. I got you.
Well, this is not that spicy, but if you had to work a traditional corporate 9-to-5 job,
Oh my
what would
God.
you do?
Throw myself off a roof? Like I did. I used to work at NBC at 30 Rock, and I
Oh,
hated it.
You're like, I did this and it was terrible.
I
and that's
think-
even like yeah.
I think I'd be also like I kind of do have a second career, which is music. I just haven't turned music into my label in 2 years because I was sick, but that's not 9 to 5. I guess 9 to 5. I think I'd be really good at marketing or like PR for people, especially with
I
these
see that.
tools. I could be like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You should be doing this. Actually, I met a girl at a party recently. And I scared the shit out of her. I didn't mean to. I just was like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you're not in the career you're supposed to be. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And she like tells me what she does. I'm like, yeah, no, you're supposed to be doing this. And like, I like totally forgot I said that. And then she comes back like an hour later and her friend's like, you need to read me. What's going on with my life? Like, you were so spot on with my friend. And she was like having this like crisis. I'm like, oh, fuck, girl, I'm sorry. But like,
You're like, I'm at a party but I want to help. But yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do this right now. I can't do this. I'm sorry I opened this can of worms. Like it was a total accident. But yeah, I think I always had a really good ability to see people. And it's like I always say, like, I wish I had a me for me, because I've helped so many people build their online businesses. I've helped people build bigger businesses than my own, because I'm just like, it's so easy for me to see what you should do, especially with all the tools that I have. So I think I would be a really good publicist or marketing.
Cool.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I totally see. Yeah. Not you need to shift gears, but if you ever want to.
Yeah. It's my fallback plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I pull a card for you?
Oh, sure.
Is that
Pull
cool?
a card for
Do
me.
you want me to? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have questions?
Yeah. Is there anything?
I've been going through such a weird... I've had like one of the weirdest weeks of my life, but I'm like, let go and let God. So I'm just open. Whatever message I need to hear.
Ooh, interesting. So I've got the Kim Cran's little deck here. It's Daughter of Swords, which I think is a page.
It is a page.
Yes. Justice and the High Priestess.
Whoa.
So there's something, there's something around like getting what you deserve. I'm really feeling into that. Something, and learning something about like sword, obviously communication, but like learning something new about the way you want to communicate or show up, or like some sort of, maybe there's like a new style of video you're doing, or something new in the communication space. Maybe it's maybe it's a course or something, but there's
Money
something
codes.
else. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
New course. A new way of teaching it.
But these are really cool. I wish you could see these cards, but they're like beautiful.
My sister-in-law has that deck.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I have it too.
Yeah.
We were just talking about before how like different and confusing it is, because the imagery is so not
different.
what normal tarot.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
Wow, thanks for pulling for me.
Yeah, no, there's like I have like an image of you like sitting on like a throne of like knowing your value, or like knowing what's fair in some sort of context. So like, and like holding on to that and not like wavering.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's super interesting because like I went through a breakup this year, and I'm like doing something totally different with money codes, and I have a lot of ideas for content. I like kind of identified like a hole in the market that just doesn't exist with just content and sharing. And I'm like, I think I'm that void. Like I'm going to fill that. And so there's just so much going on, so many things in the works. And next year is my year 3, which is like communication and socializing and all of that. So it definitely resonates with everything that I'm moving through. And I'm definitely in this place of like, I have so many ideas. I have so many things I'm passionate about that I'm putting my heart and soul into, but I have no idea like how it's going to go or where it's going to lead me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's I think it's like what is giving you that feeling of like being in the throne, kind of like, this is fulfilling me in this way and making me like know my worth. Like, not even know my worth. Like this contributes to that. That's my feeling. But
thank you.
Yeah. I'm so excited to follow along because this is so much great stuff. Thank you for coming. This is, I feel like, already changed our life.
Oh, I can't wait.
To dive in. So follow Kaitlyn. She's at Kaerhart, Kaerhart. We'll link your website so you can get reports. You can find her courses. You can get the planners. I'm getting the planners. This is so amazing. You've been such a joy, and I just love this tool. I love you. This has been great.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.